Hello. All right. We have a tight schedule today because I'm setting an ambitious goal. So we're just going to roll straight into this so that I can explain everything I want to do. This is a Sabrent hard drive dock. All right. It's got two SATA spots on the back. It's got interruptions. One moment. I'll get to everyone in a second. Okay. It's got USB-C, 12 volt power, and then you go Kachunka, and then there's hard drives, okay? Here's the thing, it runs really hot. I clocked these hard drives at, and I didn't have this prepared. Oh, thanks phone, just what I wanted, updates, wonderful, thanks. Thank you so much, I love it when that happens. Anyway, I clocked the hard drives at over 40 C exterior temperature when they were chilling in this dock. Well, not chilling, you know, quite the opposite of chilling. So what I am thinking we should do, or let me rephrase that, what I need.
Subscribe for 51 months. And says choo choo. End of line.
What I need to do is come up with some kind of cooling solution here. So the goal for today's stream is to cool two hard drives in a SATA dock using a fan. I was contemplating, well, we'll get into that. That's the goal. Okay.
Subscribe at tier 1. They've subscribed for 36 months. And says thanks to Helen Croft for my sub gift. End of line. David Fenton says there's a reason they're referred to as hard drive toasters CHER 100. End of line.
First Winger Armada, thank you for the Prime sub and for 20 months there. I appreciate that. Ben Mad Dog, thank you for the Prime sub for 22 months there. Spooky, thank you for the Tier 1 sub for 51 months. Holy moly, 51 months. I appreciate that. You know what's funny is I'd got Diamond Head's I Am Evil stuck in my head this morning. I had to listen to it a bunch. Industrious Ant, Tier 1 sub for 36 months. That's 32 plus 4. Thank you for that. And David, thank you for the 100 bits there. Okay. So
those iron will be too hot for my linking in my NAS CHER 100. End of line.
Yeah, they are running very, very hot. I said Diamond Head, didn't I? Okay, I'm just not going to address the liquid cooling stuff because obviously that's stupid. Okay, so there's a couple of ways we could go about doing this, and let me just cover this. So, because we're gonna have to 3D print. I already have the printer fired up, connected. I've even logged into Octoprint, so it's like ready to rock. Because I'm assuming we're gonna have to do that today. There's some other stuff that I've already taken advantage or taken care of in advance. So, yeah. Anyway, so here are my thoughts. The hard drives are hot and they need to not be hot. So how can we fix that? What I did is, at home when I was running these, I took a fan and then just set it behind the hard drives, just blowing, but that was a much better fan than this, so that wasn't going to do anything. To be fair, it's in Arizona, I have much liquid for stuff, yeah. Also, in the 3D printing slicer right now. Better cooling, use Blowimatron. Yeah, well, not a bench power supply. The whole goal here is something permanent. So here's the other thing. It's a 12-volt fan. This thing has a 12-volt power supply. We're going to cut this open, and we're going to power the fan internally. So that's like one objective for today. Here's the thing, though. How do we attach the fan to this to actually cool the hard drives? Because here would be cool, but the problem is that this is an 80mm fan, and that would obstruct almost the entirety of the actual output. We would just get the two little bits there above and below the label, and I have a suspicion that that wouldn't really even generate that much airflow just due to vortex nonsense. So I don't think putting it flat here makes a lot of sense. On the top, here's the other problem. So on the top makes a lot of sense, especially if we put it like this, because then it will pull the air up and out of the machine. I kind of like that idea. Problem, if I don't have two hard drives in there, I have to design it in such a way that it can hold onto one drive, and that one drive is bad. We don't want to involve one drive in this. So
subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed for 47 months, currently on a 47-month streak, and says, apologies, --THAT information is password protected, password protected, password protected, password protected, --T-ED, password accepted by your command.
Vital Kneve, thank you for the tier 1 sub there, and for 47 months. I appreciate that. Fun fact, I didn't know this until this morning, but oh my gosh, I completely forgot his name. I am so frustrated. Anyway, Admiral Adama from original Battlestar Galactica apparently did a narration of Peter and the Wolf, and I didn't know that until this morning. That's not even the weirdest one, though. Look at the list on Wikipedia.
Those same notch flaps. Well, flap now. One broke last week. Maybe I used too many drives. End of line.
Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits. Yeah, hopefully not. I don't really care about the flaps. I'll pull them out. It doesn't matter. I'm never putting 2.5-inch drives in here. Anyway, so on top, doesn't work. I'm not printing a blank hard drive. So we can't do that. I think it would be really cool if I sealed up these side vents and then we pressurized this and then had air come up and out of the hard drive dock, but it's not tall enough for the fan to fit against it. So long story short, here's my idea. We mount it like this. So at a 45 coming off of the back, because we have to have cables coming out of it anyway. The cables have their own, like, you know, strain relief stuff. There's a maximum amount of poking out of the back that it's going to have no matter what. That gets air going up and around. It being farther away means that air can spread away from it, and it only being an 80mm instead of 120mm doesn't matter as much because it can move around the drives, and having it be pointed up assists the hot air in moving away. So that's my idea, is going like that. I think that's probably the best way. Do quick tests? No, I can't do quick thermal tests of giant metal boxes. That's not possible. Don't like this option, in my opinion, objectively correct. User. All your NAS drives are 102 to 117. I can't imagine that that is Celsius. What does the bottom look like? Flat. We are going to have to open it because I want to tap into the 12 volt power that's inside for this. So, just for the record, these two drives completely open to the air like this were sitting on top of my server rack. Okay, I have a photo, proof, so you see what hard drives and server racks look like, in case you've never seen one before. Okay, hard drives on a server rack, boom, with the fan, by the way. Those two drives were hotter than every single hard drive in the server. And the server has technically fans pulling air around the drives, but above the 16 bays is a 5 1/4 inch bay that is just completely open, then it just pulls all the air through on that thing. It really does not cool the hard drives that well. And the reason I don't block it is because when I block that bay for the 5 1/4 inch stuff, so it has to pull air through the hard drives, I hear the fans really bog down, and I know it's not pulling enough air in for the rest of the hardware. So yeah, anyway. Sabrent are generally known for enterprise SSDs. No, they're to me, they're, I'm never going to get sponsored by Sabrent. They're known for garbage, products. Not that the products are bad. It's just that they take anything and they put their name on it and then they sell it. That's electronics. They're not quite one of those random LLC 6-letter names from China on Amazon, but they're like just a little step above. Okay. Drives have to work against gravity. Okay. It is, set it outside, minutes pre-warm it. No, again, no. They don't make anything. They buy chips and they throw it on a PCB. They're not, no. Anyway, that's like saying G-Skill makes good RAM. No, they buy chips and they put it on a PCB. Anyway, all right, let's crack this thing open. So here's my thought. Okay, actually, let's go ahead and I'm gonna swap on over to the computer to explain my thought process here. Workstation, boom. Hopefully all the camera stuff changed. It did not. About now. Now it did. There is no webcam? Huh? Why is there no webcam? All right, there we go. There's a 50-50 chance when I select the webcam for the Brio, because obviously OBS lost the UVC video device path. There's a 50-50 chance between picking the actual color camera and the IR camera for Windows Hello, except it's 100% chance I always pick the IR camera first, every time without fail. Okay, this is the Octoprint for printing with the thing. Anyway, look at this. So look, it's a scan of the IBM print, except I'm not really that happy with it. It's not particularly high resolution, which matters more so for the fine detail characters. So I may or may not try and photograph this. I don't know. It kind of didn't turn out the way I wanted. Like seeing the serify bits on the $sign, really, really hard. You can't quite tell that this looks like the Price is Right sign from the 70s, like, and you can almost tell up there. Oh my gosh, does it even have like a little swirl in? Yeah, anyway, so I may or may not do that at a higher res. Okay, what am I doing? Oh, yeah, this, OpenSCAD. Here's the plan, all right? So I got the model for mounting a fan from the, the project where I did it with the server, okay? So we have this, which is a negative of mounting the 80 millimeter fan. So these are the screw holes. The fan actually goes where this block is, and then this provides access to air and screw mounting. So this would be pointed kind of, this like doesn't really work at this angle for OpenSCAD, but it would be pointed up and to an angle. And yeah, so I have that part done already. What we need to figure out is what am I missing? It will not pan. Is it just because it's rotated? Whatever. CAD software is all terrible. I click, dude. Ugh. Anyway. Everything we need to design goes on this acts as a cutout. So that's what we need to do. Okay. So we have that part. We need to figure out, we don't need this actually, because that's all garbage. We need to figure out how we're going to mount the fan to that. So let's go look at that again. We got to actually like haul a little bit of butt on this, because if we're 3D printing, that's going to take some time. What am I doing today? I'm not covering it again. You're going to have to follow along and figure it out. Okay. We only have 2 hours for this, and we've burned 20 minutes. I have dropped 560 frames. That's getting kind of irritating here. Okay. So, we do need to open this. Are there screws on the bottom? Yes. So we'll be peeling the feet off in a moment. Now, I was torn on whether or not I should have a webcam or face cam. I was torn. Just put it vertical, it'll be enough. Yeah, but if I'm, why not put an angle on it? Well, the downside is, this is too bright. Yeah. Let me explain. How do I mount this? Because no matter what, either here or like here, it's not really going to mount cleanly on the back of this thing. Well, now it's not bright enough because that thing's black and you can't see the detail of it. Anyway, so my thoughts are we either drill holes in this, but I don't know how complicated this area is inside here, or, and I don't normally do this, but I'm thinking it might actually make sense in this case. I design an L bracket that just glues around the edge, and we just glue something on that will hold the fan in place. So if I'm designing it that way, there's no reason for me to not design it with a bend. And you might think, but if you design it flat, you can then print it flat and it won't take as long to print. But if I'm doing this, I could just have 2 bars that go up and have nothing connected in the middle, because I don't really need anything connected in the middle. And then those can be pretty thin. And then we just have a slight like 45-degree bend piece, and then we mirror it, print it flat, and then it will print really fast and be in the ideal axes of grain, so that as this thing inevitably sags slightly over time, it's not as bad. So yeah, I think we glue, because it's not like I care. So yeah, I think, so we have a slight piece here, and unfortunately, I do not think that is a 90-degree angle. I think it is slightly slanted. We'll see if we can figure that out. So we have this, and then we mount the fan poking up like that. What's that tape that schools and library use, stick asset equipment together? I don't know. VHB or something? I don't know. Usually I'd ask more questions trying to get a feel for the device than I've ever. You have one on your desk. Let's see. But yeah, I don't see any reason not to put it at an angle. Imagine like that, the airflow would only hit a small corner of the drives. That's not true. in that same logic, it's only going to hit one side of the drive, so we do it this way. Think about how tall the drive is. So if we have it angled, coming along like that, and then more importantly, it's actually going to get airflow off of the drives. So if I have it flat like this, first off, especially if I have it up close, we're blocking a serious amount of it. I could angle or push it back. That gets a little more difficult to mount. But let's say I just put it back like this. That would work. I'm slightly more concerned about how much it blocks though. Again, I could use an 80 millimeter or 120 millimeter, but I don't have a nice 120 millimeter I'm ready to use. So it would be a garbage one. I really think that's the play right there. Ever done a print in place hinge? No, I don't know why I would either, because this should be fixed. It won't block the airflow to go around. We're talking this. I mean, again, I could do this. If I do it that way, yeah, I don't know. I'm a fan of doing it this way. Other benefit is that this works with convection, pulling hot air away. This kind of doesn't really matter as much either, I will wager. Yeah, maybe we could do like a 12-degree angle. The other hinge on top, flip the fan down onto the HD. What? You're saying this? No. Absolutely not. I say we do this and we'll never know the difference because it won't matter, because yeah, I do agree that any airflow is going to like just solve the problem. So we're going to do a slight angle that makes it easier to take it in and out than if it was flat, because it gets it farther away in the part where my hands are going to touch it. It's still going to work fine. That angle can be achieved with just hot glue. I don't, no, just no. We're 3D printing something. Just no.
Philip Andrews subscribed at tier 1. They subscribed for 33 months. And says convection toaster. End of line.
Philip, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 33 months of hanging out. I appreciate that. Oh wait, no, it's just this. Yeah, the idea is for this to be permanent. I'm not helping hands, no, none of that stuff. We are permanently attaching and wiring the fan into the dock because the dock needed cooling and they didn't add it. So, okay, let's see if we can figure out if this is a 90. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe, actually, I think the back is a 90. Hold on, that will make life so much easier. Oh, it totally is a 90. Okay, I did not realize that. All right, well then this is a cakewalk. So the only real restriction we have is that we don't want to go in any farther than, it's 22 millimeters, so let's say 20 millimeters. And we could go down 30. Easy. Okay, 20 by 30 millimeter mount interface. And then, yeah, we go up to the fan. All right. Let's go do that. Workstation, boom. Okay. Yeah, but so Patrick, the fan sticking out isn't a problem because the cables stick out as well. So it doesn't really matter because the fan is not going to obstruct any more than the cables themselves are. All right, so we're going to end up doing a difference with the fan mount here. so let's start with this. Difference. Boop. Badoo. Badoo. All right. We're going to take, I don't remember how this works. Let's just add cube. And then make it 30, 30, 30, 30. And then see what we get. It's probably not enough. It's not. Okay. 130, 130, 130. Okay, so that takes a chomp out of that. So we're going to want is it anything below? Okay. Basically typing, you said like OpenSCAD, you switched to actual OpenSCAD? That's funny. Yeah, a lot of people go from OpenSCAD to FreeCAD because, yeah, OpenSCAD takes a special kind of person. You know what? It is a not double shirt day. I can already tell I'm going to get wildly overheated here. All right. So let's say 30 by it's 80-ish by 30. Let's start with that. That's going the wrong direction. So 80, 30, and then we want to translate this. I do like that this is basically AutoCAD, but interpreted. Bad design of the bias, 1/3 of the drives contain area, or is that voltage not well regulated? So it's probably a mixture of those hard drives just run hot, and there's no airflow in that room at all, like just straight up where they are. So I think it relies on external airflow and not really hot drives. Sub channels, you run good stuff. Thank you. I appreciate that, Red Thorn. Glad to have you here. Horizon SolidWorks. I mean, that's on you. Let's do view thrown together here. All right. First off, I want to translate this down. Bracket. Depth. Yes, I know you can do XYZ stuff. I don't care. 20 millimeter. So let's say this and that. Boom. That's wrong. Minus. Boom. Okay. And then this will be fan underscore size equal 80. And then we'll do one of these bracket width. Might as well leave it as 20. So X, this is wonky. Let's do this. Boop. And then
let's try subscribe with Prime. And a line.
One moment. Fan size minus bracket depth. See what that looks like. Whoa, not quite what I was going for. Let's try. Thank you for the Prime sub. And for the first time, I appreciate that. Just build prototype stuff like around the house. Okay. That's going the wrong direction here. Minus fan size divided by 2. Okay. Minus fan size plus bracket width. Okay. minus bracket width. That's plus bracket width times 2. Okay, so that's about where and what I want. So, bracket width 30, F5, that's... Yeah, I just don't want it on top and in the way, and I get what you're saying. That is hilarious how, like, instantly that is exactly what I'm going for, though. I'm showing them, I don't care. DZAC has just already done this by just using some garbage and then doing it, like, literally since we started stream. This is hilarious. It's so, like, it would totally work. But we're doing it the hard way. Now, if you excuse me, I've got CAD to get back to. Best solution is the one that works. I'm not convinced that that will work with the hot glue being used, but it at least is a prototype. All right. So if I take this out, F5, why is it ending up way over there? F5. 0. Okay, so this is positive. So if I do fan size divided by 2, okay, that will put it over on the edge, minus bracket width. Boom. Okay. Now, I probably don't want it to be that thick, actually. So let's say, well, that. But then bracket, let's say, extend, or wall. I like wall. Let's go with 5. Add plus bracket wall. Okay. So now it extends out around the fan, and I can shift that up actually to make it fit a little better. Yeah, so we'll actually go ahead and do this. Bracket depth plus wall, F5, perfect. So that will extend up and get cut, so there'll be a lip to push it against. All right, let's go back to thrown together. So this obviously does not need to be this thick. You can do something along the lines of that. All right, and then I will probably just do this. Just gonna have one that's centered here. Okay, so I want Y full width times 2. That way it's always good. Bracket depth times 3. Okay, and then let's say 40. All right. No, Y. Union. Translate. Union. Oh. F5. There we go. So that's just to cut off the points that aren't really going to do anything helpful. So we could also make this 50, maybe. That'll work. Okay. For sure. My drywall screws. Yeah, really. Okay, so that'll work. So there's the part that mounts to the fan. All right. So now we'll do HDD or module. I know how to spell coffee. HDD mount angle. Equal 45, just for now. Okay, so we're going to start out with probably just hiding this.
21 Raiders from Belgium have joined. End of line.
Ben, you're late. On how dual monitors, one terminal command, one for model display would be great. Yeah, see, you know what's even worse is that I have all of this dead space over here off to the side, and I don't have dual monitors. I have one monitor that I can't even use the whole thing of. It's great. I love doing this kind of stuff on stream. Okay, let's go with cube, and then, say fan size. So X is times 2, and then I don't know, times 2. Okay, F5. So we got biggest, cubus, and then let's just center this. Not your fault. Agent embedded Linux router is printing network boot status 1 character per second. Oh gosh. Okay. You know, actually, I don't want this like that. F5, but I do want to center this way. Minus fan size 0, 0, F5. Okay. What did this look like again? Okay, so let's say I want this. How are we going to attach these? This is a pain. Yeah, BODs are not quite characters per second. It's weird. Okay, so we'll make this the angle point, and then we'll have the mount be the thing that moves, because that will make life easier. So I'm actually going to go ahead and translate this along Y. Let's do mount wall equal 5. Okay, and then angle. Rotate. Not. Oh, yes, on X. Okay, rotate. Angle. 0, 0. F5. Why did that not work? Because I'd missed a comma and a closing bracket. F5. Okay. That'll do. Except negative angle. I really want to like FreeCAD. It's just every time I use FreeCAD goes, nah, this isn't for you. Okay. So now if we set the angle to 0, it's flat. That won't work. 90 would be straight on to the drives with a little bit of spacing. Okay, so we can do basically everything here. All right, I'm going to first translate this back up. So minus y here, except I think I want to translate the whole thing. Translate 0 and then fan size divided by 2 minus 0. Boop, that pushes it up. Okay. Oh, I need to push it down a little too. There we go. It's my thought process here is, oh, I'm just gonna make this gross because I just don't care. Cylinder. And then we're going to make the radius mount wall. Then the height, bracket, width. What does that look like? It'd help if I closed it. Okay, that's I have them backwards. Why is it? Oh my gosh, that's times 4. That's height. What? Hold on. Had it correct. Cylinder. How to cylinder. Height, radius. Okay. Radius is bracket depth plus bracket wall. Okay, and then height is bracket width. Okay. Okay. And then that's still not right. Oh, because it's got to be minus 25. That's not right. This is not a defined size. Oh, gosh. Can I just make bracket width 20? How about 15? It looks like that might be the actual number. What if I make it 10? There we go. Okay, so 15. And then we don't need this. F5. All right, now we rotate cylinder, and we rotate this around Z, 90, and we'll figure out if it's positive or negative 90 in a moment. Never mind, we rotate it around Y. Okay, that's the correct amount. And then we translate it. Half fan size minus bracket width, and then all the rest is zeros. 0 F5. Okay, that's still not correct, plus wall. Plus bracket wall. Okay. I think the noise gate is oscillating on and off. It probably is because the air conditioning is barely audible. I don't know what to tell you. It's one that's built into the ATEM. I'm not sure I can control it because this software does not. I don't think it gives me access to that stuff. I set that back when I had Windows here with the Windows software, and I don't have that anymore. Yeah, I don't think I can touch it. It should be in this, but this software is not finished. So I can't touch it because I don't have anything on OBS as far as I remember. And I don't think it's a noise gate. I think it's just the expander. That's a good sign, Sleepy. Okay, why is the hole not being cut? Do I want to do union? This? Oh my gosh. How can I move this? We get rid of this. Actually, let me copy this first. Copy and then delete. Well, not delete, just hide. Okay. Error. What are you talking about, error? What did I screw up? Uh-oh. F5. No error there. Copy. And then just, wait, what is this? Is this just some random extra? This goes to union. That should just not be there. Okay. Copy. Comment. Let's just move it within this. F5. Okay. Why is it? Okay, so along Y, I want to 0, 0, 0 minus fan size, F5. That did not divided by 2, F5. Where did it go? Let's plus fan size. There we go. Okay. Minus fan size. Okay, that's good. Now, I am mildly concerned about the part here where I got to put screws in. I guess I could just move the mount up. So bracket, what's this radius? This is the depth of the bracket, right? Cylinder, radius, bracket, yeah, this. So if I push, this is where OpenSCAD starts to get gross, especially when you're really not like actually trying. 0, this, and then that. Okay, that was the wrong way. Minus bracket wall. Okay, but it's not moving the part that matters. That's fine, we can just do this. Yay, everything's amazing. And then I will I want to make a cube here for the thing. But perhaps I am lazy and we do mount wall, cube, this plus wall times 2, and then not minus, whoa. Plus 1. Plus 5? What? Weird. Well, that should be fine. We'll just do plus bracket wall. Bingo. Okay, so that'll work. Yeah. Now I would like to pull this all down by bracket wall. I said pull it down. There we go. That's much better. Okay. So now, over here, we will do another one of these difference things. Difference. And we're gonna do another cube. All right, so the x of the cube is the same as the width of that, which is totally a sane value that normal people would understand. And then it basically has the exact same translate as this stuff, but not quite. Let's just take that right there. Put it right here. You have no idea. You just know it's disgusting. Oh, it's very disgusting. Don't worry. I am aware. Okay. Okay, so those are all the positive numbers. So X and Z are the two main things. We're going to do 20 by 30. So 20 and 30. F5. Okay. Now that's not quite enough. So, or is it? Maybe it is. Who knows? Okay. Interface top equals 20 millimeters. Okay, so we do, that would be Z. Boom, 20, and then minus interface top. Boop. No, why? Why are you like this? Parser. Oh, semicolon. Boom. Okay, getting closer. Why? I guess it wouldn't cut that. What if module fan thing? All right, hear me out. What if I don't know why we got this random union. Let's get rid of that. Put this here. Okay, and then we get fan thing. And then we union that. Union before we do the difference. Because then it will cut it out. Hey. All right, now why is this not 20? Let's say interface bottom is 30, so we can do this here, F5. Okay, is that really 20 though? I don't think that's, maybe that really is 20. Okay, and now we can do HDD mount angle 45. That minus 45. Nope, none of that's working. Cool. Well, let's try 12 F5. No, just 45. Why? Oh, it's set to 90. 90, F5. Okay, so if I set it to 80, well, that's a problem. Oh, I know one thing I need. I need mount wall plus mount wall plus mount wall minus mount wall. Okay. That's a little thicker than it needs to be. Yeah, why is that one like twice as thick? Because it's not rotating correctly. I'm starting to think I may have made a mess out of this code. Oh my gosh, we do not have long. We gotta hurry up. We gotta make something that's functional so we can print it. Why is this not wide enough? Shouldn't this just be like 15? No. Should be 20. 20. Okay. And then why does this not rotate correctly? View thrown together. Okay. So if I do, instead of 90, it's 80. Why is that like sliding back? Oh, because it gets translated. There we go. Okay, I think that works now. So if I do 45, now it works. Okay, view, preview. So, yeah, I think this works. So this is the hard drive dock. The fan screws into the bottom here, okay? And then we glue this on. It sticks out slightly farther away. That's a 45-degree mount. Let's say we do a 65. So that's probably fine. We could do that. Okay, I say we print this. So I'm gonna save F6, file, export, STL. Just the worst fan mount. Beautiful. Now, we take Prusa slicer here. I'm gonna go ahead and connect this. We go to the platter. Now we chuck this on there. Yeah, I guess it is big, actually. 80, wait, what? Yeah, 80 would be about half of the 200 millimeter. Yeah, it's big, holy moly. Okay. So we need, was it Control Plus? Another one, add instance, boom. Okay, and now I want to mirror along x-axis. Okay. Why would you mirror both of them? No one wants that. Mirror. X-axis. There we go. Okay. So. That's going to fall over. Boop. Boop. There you go. Okay. So. Do this, and then brim. I think we can get away without a brim. Slice. 1 hour and 17 minutes. Supports, none. Slice. Worst. Tangented too hard? We didn't tangent at all. Okay, what if we make the wall 2.5 and 2.5, does it explode? It does not. F6, file, export, STL, just the worst fan mount, weaker. Delete. Wait a minute, I got another idea. That part where it's 20 and then the width is like, let's just... Okay. Where was that part where it was set to 20 hard-coded? This plus bracket wall. Boom. Okay, F6. File, export, STL, more weaker. Okay, so we do more weaker, and then we'll mirror this one, mirror X, and then we drop another one on, boop, okay, and then we do one of these, and then we do a one of these. No, I don't feel like getting that excited. I don't want to print the whole thing as a bridge. Okay, then we get them real nice and close together. Matter of fact, let's we do that so we can get them even closer. Okay, how about now? 39 minutes, beautiful. Okay, that'll work. Okay, let's do this and this. Can I select both of these? I can. Let's rotate them along like this. That way they fit slightly better. Okay. Slice or spooning, yeah. 40 minutes, what is turning it slightly making it 40? You know what? We don't have time. Warning, detected stability issues. I'm sure it's fine. Just shut up, software. I don't care what you think. Okay. Everything looks good. Just go ahead. Go. Start. Do it. Send to printer. Go. Sure. Upload and print. What's the worst that could happen? There it goes. Yay! What filament's in there? It's whatever filament was preloaded. Hopefully it doesn't explode and that it hasn't absorbed too much moisture and all of that fun stuff. Okay, phone float. Boop. Excuse me, phone float. There we go. Hey, look, it's a printer. Woo! Okay, overlay, face cam. All right. And now we wait. Spend 10 minutes on infill. Wait, really? Well, it's too late now. I probably don't want none infill on there because, I mean, that cylinder is slightly critical. Okay. How big are the fans? The fan is 80 millimeter. Okay, while that's going, we need to get 12 volts out of the dock for the fan. So let's rip this thing apart. You live in a dehydrator. You would be surprised that it will still get some moisture. Okay. Do you have hot glue gun handy? We're not hot gluing it. I will be using the B3000 glue. And I'm probably not going to glue it on stream. We'll test fit it. And maybe tape it on, but then I will glue it on later. Because I'm going to be taking it home, because that's where the server rack is. And I don't want weak sauce glue on it on the way home. One of these days that cable will work. There we go. Okay. So, I want 12 volts. I see 12 volt input right there. Let's work on, maximum lazy plan formed. You all are gonna love this. Okay, switch cameras. Nah. You guys like that camera. That's the best camera. Okay, look, inside, it's a thing. All you missed was me ripping this off. Okay, and it sucked. It was not fun, because it sits inside. But now I have an idea. So here is the barrel jack. It's exposed right there. So, we're going to use the barrel jack. So here's my thought process. One of these is probably ground and the other is probably 12 volts. And they're probably something similar to close by each other. Wait, is this thing? No, that won't be power and ground. Wow, they actually cabled the power switch. I'm kind of impressed by that. Let me poke around a little bit. See if there's anything that makes sense to tap off of instead of the connector itself, but I think it's just going to be the connector itself. Okay, beep, beep. Okay, beep to beep, and then beep to beep. I could use this pad here. It's not through hole though. But we got a thing over here. Beep to beep, not quite. Beep to beep, even less quite, but beep to beep probably is, yes. Okay. I'm mildly disappointed that that one doesn't connect, because there's through hole spots over here that I could have just put headers on and been done with it. But no, that would have been too nice. This is probably for like 5 volt or something. For nerds. Pfft. Okay. So I think it just exactly won't fit going upright, unfortunately. I need to remove one pin. Might be able to break it off and save it. If you tap on the barrel jack, the fan won't switch off. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, actually, I do care about that. Good point. That means that cap also, wow. How much is on the on side? Because this cap is on the unswitched side. Which, wait a minute. If I switch it on, aha! So that's where we add the fan header. Okay, perfect. Let's see. Hold on. Printer is printering. Look at print. Go, printer, go. Why? Uh-oh, hold on. Get back here. I remembered what I last printed. Whew, got that just in time. I'd printed SIM card adapters and I'd left them on there. Nothing to see here. Everything's going completely as expected. I dropped the pins. Where'd they go? Are they over here? They're over there. All right, you know what? Let's just do this the fun way. Everybody loves it when I pull out big knife. What did I put in my coffee this morning? I really haven't drank that much of it. It's just, I knew that this was going to be a tough one to finish. And I'm trying to rush as much as I can. Okay. With fan mod, now with sim slot support, yeah. Is this just like exactly not 100 mil pitch? Or does standard header not fit in the hole? It's behaving weird. No, header fits. Okay, maybe they're just slightly bent. If I cannot remove the PCB, that would be ideal because I don't know how it mounts and everything. Kind of sucks. So right here is 12 volt switched. So if I can get this just soldered in right here, exactly like it is, it'll work with the fan connector. Get that fast Core XY. I would like a Core XY printer. I'm not even after speed. I would just like Core XY. But let's be real. I don't 3D print enough for it to be worth it to buy a like $500 printer. I just don't. It's like 3 millimeter pitch, not 2.54. What animals? What is wrong with you guys? Okay, how do we solve this? Using common units? I know. Here's soldered SMD style and it'll be fine. I would agree if it wasn't going to be a mechanical connector that would be connected to something external to the case. It's 2.54. They just got the scaling wrong. Just look at it. It's so close. That's backwards, so it wouldn't connect properly, but yeah. So what I could do is be a complete animal and just remove the plastic bits, plug them into the cable, and then kind of pinch them in and solder them in place, and then good enough. And since I could do that, I am. All right, come on. Let go, plastic. Come on. Boom. Now, haha. Now I just solder it in and it's just like it was made to be. Okay. Hey, there we go. All right, that's one foot pedal operated fan there. Now, I love how easily that comes unplugged. That's a really nice safety feature. I think we're gonna have hot glue time. Yeah, I'm gonna use hot glue to hold the fan. Okay, while that heats up, let's check in on print. That's actually working. That's looking okay. All right. Sweet. I was not necessarily sure that that was actually going to work. I don't know why that hid the overlay. All right. Back to arm cam. But will it spark? I mean, ideally not. You know what? Change my mind. I don't want to heat up the hot glue gun. All right, let's get the cable attached in totally normal people way here. There we go. Perfect. It's exactly how you apply hot glue. All right, and now that's nice and secure. It was on such a low temperature setting, it would be practically impossible for it to remove any, what was that sound? Everything over there looks fine. Okay, okay, so you might be wondering, hey, Shelby, how is the fan cable getting out of the case? Especially since you just, glued it in place, to which I say I have this extremely brilliant plan of... There we go. It's just like if the factory did it. Boop. Beautiful. Never mind the fact that that disconnected the hot glue. Maybe I need a little more hot glue. All right, fine. I'll let the hot glue gun heat up, but I don't know that I have any more glue sticks. So we might be jamming a Sharpie in there again. No grommet. So I tried to fold over the plastic to act as a grommet on one side, but then it broke off because it was rude. So nope, no grommet. Pretty sure I have more hot glue somewhere, but where somewhere is, I don't know. All right, let's check in on printer. That is in fact printering. Let me see what the time estimate is on the actual printer. It says, I don't want to read what it says because I don't like it. Nope, I'm not saying that out loud. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. It's an hour. Great. Well, all right. Hold on, I'm wasting hot glue. Ow, hot. Who would have guessed? Okay, that definitely totally worked. And now for the other half. Come on, Flo, you know you want to. There we go. Perfect. By the way, the feet have migrated on this to all sorts of different wonky places. It doesn't sit upright anymore. It's super annoying. Ink is spreading just about as much as this glue is. Hey. All right. Ugh. We're kind of stuck now. Waiting. So are you going to buy more glue sticks? Maybe someday. Here's exactly what will happen, okay? I'll say I'm going to go buy glue sticks on Amazon, and then I'll get the mini ones by accident, not the full-size ones. And then I'll be like, oh, well, and then I'll just use the hot air gun and do that until the end of time because I end up buying like 1 billion of them. What size glue stick does this require? It looks like 1/2 inch, maybe? Should I plug it in and use the fan to cool this? Oh, my, you're brilliant. We still could. Oh, it would help to, like, plug it in. There we go. Okay. Still waiting on that back there. That's a self-solving problem. Got some hot hard drives? Yes. Yeah, in particular, these are running very hot. Feels it's far too much like plastic brazing. Yeah, kinda. Are there extra soft plastic brazing rods? Ooh. We're kind of stuck waiting for the printer now. I don't know why this keeps hiding the camera. We're starting to see the curve. Also known by the name 3D printing filament. At that point, I'm just going to get one of those 3D printer pens. All right. This is done. Okay. I love the foot pedal, by the way. Just being able to have my hands here and being able to change the state is so nice. All right, now we can put this back together. Just the way every company involved in making this thing intended it. And here's where I go, psych, we're out of time, then drill holes in it and use a zip tie to hold it in place. Just wondering why we're staring at a fan? Ah, yeah, it's a hard drive dock. Now the fan cable's not long enough? No, it's perfect. I actually think it is actually perfect. Yeah. That will be ideal. Could even cram it in a little bit more once I get it mounted. Get back here. MDF dust. It's good for stickers. Helps them stay on longer. All right. Soon It'll be mounted. Nova. Oh, you'll like this other part. Where I'm doing this with it. No, that, hey, oh, I didn't realize I could do that. Wait, that's so nice. I have that set up already? Okay, sure, yeah, all right. So there's printing going on as well. Yeah, so we're gonna have arms that hold it up like that. So the close-up look here. I love how I had zero idea that I had that. Yeah. Now replace the fan with a slim one? Oh, I'd rather it just work well. Coffee done. I'm going to go look at how long we have left on the print. It better not say an hour still or I'm going to scream. It says 33. It says 40 minutes. Are you kidding me? There's no way there's 40 minutes left. See, I'm not going that fancy. Since this gets put on top of my server cabinet, and the idea is that I just plunk a hard drive in there and then it runs essentially indefinitely. I just want direct cooling that's running all the time. So this is going to hang about right there, I want to say, and then blow on it. Webcam showing your torso at the top and the printer printing below. It's going to look like me dancing. I think I can do this, and I can show Nova the model here. Oh, might as well press that again. Have both. Hey. Webcam. Oh, it hides it. Oh, that's a problem. All right, we'll just do that for now. Ugh. So the models just have the holes for mounting the fans along there and then a cutout for the airflow. And then it's just going to get glued onto the case. I was going to try and drill holes in it. I mean, I guess I could just use self-tappers later if I really is a problem. So yeah, I'm just going to glue it onto the case and then that'll hold the fan pointed up towards the hard drives. It'll be over here. So it should work out pretty well. I will have to, actually, you can, here, let's commit the code, git add star.stl SQL. That's almost like STL to get. Okay, git, not fart, git status. That was almost the words that I wanted to type. Git add fan mount, git commit, I'm sorry. Git push. There we go. Now you can go look at the incredible OpenSCAD file for generating this. It's one of the SCAD files of all time. Conveniently available at here. Yeah, all of the structural integrity is in that cylinder that I put there. But yeah, you can also just find it at git.techtangents.net. I'm pretty sure I made it a publicly available repo. Hopefully. Probably. But yeah. So. Let's go back here. Is that camera visible? Control. Oh, wow, we can actually see it. Beautiful. Oh, come on. There's no way it's going to take a half an hour. No, I don't have that file. I'm too tempted to fix it. Yeah, so I have that camera on the print head angled to try and see the print head's nozzle so that I can actually watch the filament be put down. But the problem is that it has to be like below the print head, so you can't really, it'll hit the bed. And then it also hits the little display on the left as well. So it gets beat around all the time, but that's actually, it seems like a good compromise. Maybe I should just put it on the right side and have it, look at it from there. Those are some chunky steps. Here, let's just go ahead and look at it. Needs BGA angled lens? That would be awesome. I would be so down for that. I like how it's being slow on the top layers. I wish I hadn't had that set. We're going to run any more video game projects. I mean, arcade machines. I will not be getting more arcade machines unless I can find an H2 overdrive for $1,000 or less. That's the one thing. Okay, that's not true. I would get a lunar lander for 500 or less, which won't happen. But H2 overdrive is the only other one that I would really be after, and it's just not going to happen. At some point, I need to pluck the CRTs out of the Hydro Thunders, but that requires removing the seats, the dashboards, the front glass, the border, and then actually getting the CRT out. But I need to remove it from both of them, which means both seats, both dashboards, both glasses are going to be in flux. And then I need to look at the capacitors on one, because only one of them has the original cap still, order replacements, have the CRTs out during that time, and then recap them. So it's not a trivial process. Why are you gonna keep it for yourself to spite you at this point? Why to spite me at this point? Because I set too high of a bar? What about a Dragon's Lair? I don't want to play Dragon's Lair. The game sucks. Yeah, sure, it's fun. Yay, it's a Laserdisc video game, but like, no. Dragon's Lair is just memorizing what buttons need to press in what order. That's it. That's all Dragon's Lair is. It's not a game. It's just memorization. I guarantee you, I would be willing to bet money you could never pluck someone off of the street who has never played Dragon's Lair and get them to beat it in one sitting. Not gonna happen. Yeah, the game is bad. The animation is godly. Yes, I agree. Don Bluth, fantastic job on the animation. Same thing with Space Ace and Brain Dead 13. They're all great. Animation. Horrible games. You know, high-level speedrunning of a lot of games? Yeah, but that's just how you play Dragon's Lair. That's the thing. It's a quick time event game? Yeah, kind of. Dragon's Lair.mp4 take up less floor space. You can go on the TT Wiki. I have the Dragon's Lair DVD release. So imagine trying to play it with the remote. Yeah, no, that game is horrible. No one wants to actually play that. I couldn't imagine owning and maintaining the arcade machine for that. Just so I could go, yep, I have that. What if it was just the LD from the Dragon's Lair cabinet? I'm sure that that's worth like 95% of the value of the whole thing. So it's not going to exist. Did I learn Brain Dead 13 is a thing? I don't know if I had an arcade release. I have it for Mac though. How's Hydro Thunder doing? Well, that's what I was saying. I have to recap the CRTs and replace the flybacks, but it is a mountain of work to do it. So I haven't been using them because I don't want to damage the tubes themselves. But I haven't been ready to start the process because basically I have to tear them completely apart. It's really frustrating. The only way you can remove the CRT from the Hydro Thunder cabinets is to undo the 4 bolts on the front. But to get to those 4 bolts, you have to remove the dashboard. And if you're removing the dashboard, it's a whole lot easier to do if you remove the seat, because that's only 8 bolts, 4 bolts, 2 on each side. So then you're removing the seat, the dashboard, and then you can pick the glass up and out. And I talk about the glass because it's like, it's just a piece of glass, but it's really awkward. It sits in a channel in the wood frame. You have to press on it, lift it up, and then get your hands under it, tip it out, and then pull it out. And it's this really not elegant process. I don't know how on earth Tomb Raider would work on a DVD player. Is it real glass? Yes. Watch for almost 2 years, ever home watch stream as it happens. Well, welcome. Yeah, that's the other fun thing about the glass being real. It's heavy. Things are not meant to last. Service, put in an arcade, collect cash, look, people get bored. No, they were meant to have a service contract. So it is maybe possible that I could remove the circuit boards from the back, but that's almost just as much work. So I might even need to get to the back. I'm not 100% sure. I think I can get away without pulling the back off if I go in through the front, but getting to the back means that they have to be pulled away from the wall and then probably move that desk that I have them on. Ugh. Made in China to USA. What does that actually mean? That is great. No, they're real glass, Desiac. I'm sure it was Helen Croft. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, here. Listen. Actual glass. It's getting close over there. Just do one so you don't have the parts everywhere. So I don't remember which is which. One of them has been recapped, the other has not. I have to recap both of them. And I don't remember which is which means that when I pull out one CRT, there's a 50-50 chance that it's the one that was already recapped, which means I can't use that to cap map. That's one of the reasons why I did Caps Wiki. So one of the 2 Hydro Thunders was recapped in 2014, if I remember correctly, not by me. And it has a sticker on the back. That means that I cannot use the capacitor values that are on that board to order more capacitors because they're probably slightly wrong. Not that there's any problem with that, but just that you don't always have to directly match every single value. But that means that if I say see a cap that's 16 volts and I could get one, or maybe it's a 2200 UF and I can't find one that's exactly 2200 UF. Maybe I find one that's just to pick a random number, 3000 UF. I could say, oh, I could get that instead and put it on there, but they may have already bumped that up from 1600 UF. So it could be drifting farther and farther out of spec. So I'd rather look at the one that hasn't been touched. So yeah. You have one of those endoscope cameras? Oh, I could actually do that. I do have one of those. Just be mean when check how long printer build. As in its usual settings, take print fan bracket. 27 minutes. Photographer inside advice of this weekend? I have no idea why would be doing photography. What's going on? My recommendation is to have the camera pointed at the subject. There you go. It's getting close over there. It's at that point where theoretically it would probably work. See you later, Philip. Let me look at the time remaining here. It says 16 minutes. That's not horrendous. Oh, light's faded, I guess, if you're some kind of fancy person who puts the lens cover back on. Got to protect expensive glass? Well, that's the neat part. What if your glass is not expensive? Just Nikon kit lens from an FM10. Although this one, that one's slightly expensive. But I still don't put the lens cover on it because it doesn't go in a bag. Use borescope cam to only do one of the machines. Again, though, I'm going to recap both machines anyway. I mean, I could do it to have only one in flux at a time. That would be possible. But still, I would almost rather take them both apart so that I'm forced to do it all at once. That way I can't do one and then go, I'll do the other one later. I'd rather just have it all out and about. Out of coffee. We're now officially into stream overtime. Yay! Really glad I didn't let it run with a 1 hour and 20 minute one. We shaved about half the time. Or you'd even put the parts while waiting? That I could figure out. It would just be inconvenient. You know what's funny? One of these drives should stay here, but I don't know which it is. So my workflow is mostly dialed in for how I'm doing video backups. These get data dumped into them by the server after it's been encoded to take up less storage space. And then I will write data to them until they're full. And then I should pop one out, bring it here, and then just set it on a shelf. That way I have offsite backups of my archived video files. One of these is almost full. I think it's got like 200 gigs free left. I might actually be able to fit another video on there. The other one is empty, and because they were in the dock and then they got mixed around coming here, I don't know which is which. But I was also thinking I should go grab the box that has all of the other hard drives with them, the backups. Let's see, where are they at? I will find those before I leave. I don't see them. But I needed to confirm which files were already backed up here. And I don't have like a list of that. I'll crop, yeah. I need one of those surgery cameras. It's got the little cable linkages for like bending it and stuff if I'm going to try and do that. Oh, it's getting close over there. I'm getting the blue tape ready to hold it on. Actually, I can use the vinyl tape. That'll work out better. Or I could just not, because I'm not keeping it that way. I'm going to grab a glue while I'm thinking about it. Put that in my laptop bag since that's what I'm going to use. How about one of the nozzles too? That would be smart. No dual-sided tape? Nah, what do you think I am? Fancy? I'm never really sure what kind of dual-sided tape to get. And then I just end up not getting any. Because you can get the double-sided, just like, office tape. It's just the thin plastic strip PET or whatever, just like Scotch tape. And then it doesn't have any conformity. So then you can get the thicker stuff that has some level of conformity, but then they're not like interchangeable. I don't know. So just usually don't bother. It's very rare that I need it. Print preview is saying 10 minutes remaining. VHB, yeah, that's the conforming one. Let me find some fan mount screws for this, because that I can do before we leave, or I leave. How am I almost out of fan screws? What? There's one. I got weird looking ones. Guess I can use those. It's looking like it's gonna be the weird ones. Which maybe isn't the worst. They got a bigger head. They might hold better on the 3D printed part. Oh, I guess I could also use the rubber shock mount kinds. That would actually probably be smarter. I only have 1 million of those too. Let me go find more of those. YouTube streaming my day job? Yes, it is. Not really so much the streaming as actual YouTube videos. Streaming's more like behind the scenes. Okay. May or may not be an oil change shop in Ohio. Double-sided tape from AutoZone. Oh, gosh. Oh, these are all the chunkier ones. I didn't really want those, but okay. You know what I have to do. Brand new glue gun at the store, $2.50 too cheap? I think so. Oh, so Desiac, that kind, I find that the stick on that is not that good for textured surfaces. Like, I bet it wouldn't stick to the 3D printed surface that well. It needs a little bit more give for that. Because the, all the GoPro mount stuff comes with that tape on it, and it just does not hold up. That's probably also like the worst possible version of that tape, but, you know. I don't know what to tell you. It just never works for me. Oh, I know what it is. That's Ohio. It's not 120 degrees there. It's starting on the top layer. I have done that today, Nova, now. Well, kind of. I put some scraps down and then hit that with the hot glue gun. Come on, hurry up, printer. Jack. I'm gonna put the hard drives away because we're not real. Well, I'll leave them out so we can see the whole thing together. I was going to say the light is making the prints look a lot worse than they are, but actually, no, those like horizontal lines are just there. I don't know why. That's weird. Maybe the wall isn't thick enough. Not surprising since I did like the most garbage settings in print I could do to get it done in time. At least it doesn't have to hold up that much weight, just a fan. Webcam just died on the printer. That's cool. As long as it keeps sending G-code. Although at this point, if it fails, it's probably close enough. It was definitely totally intentional as well that I used beige filament to mount the Noctua fan. Yeah, definitely. So I was reprint on some other day. I could, but I really think they'll work. Even if it was stopped right now, I think it'd be fine. I think all of the parts that are actual structural are done.
Looks like wet filament and that's a solvable problem. CHER 100 end of line.
It might be. It's rained a lot here recently, so. Well, not a lot, but it's rained some, more than none, which for Arizona is a lot. So that could be it. Just occurred to me, I've never checked that connector for the heat bed. Get a desiccator? I think I'm good. Nah. Thank you for the 100 bits, though, Endora Fox. Does the printer have dual Z motors? No. Not even sure where one is. Humidity concerns in Arizona? Yeah, it rained. It's monsoon season, so right now, currently, it's raining. Well, I mean, not literally right now. It's just, you know, there's the threat of rain. Mostly there was a hurricane on the west coast, and it kind of ups through the California Strait. Yeah, and Dorofox, actually, I keep meaning to do the cereal container boxes with the PTFE outlet tube for that, just because it would be nicer to not have to worry about it, because I have zero way of storing them. So I would like to do that at some point. Why is the printer created a line around the print job? So that's a skirt in the slicer settings, if I remember correctly. You do that mostly to purge the print head and get it to prime the nozzle so that it will more consistently start the first layer. You can skip that step if you want, but you can have slightly unpredictable results then. So I usually just set that to do like 3 loops, and then that makes sure that the filament will be loaded and primed correctly. Ooh, sweet. Don't mind that. Just the sensor connector on here is bad. I gotta wiggle it. All right. So, it's now done, and I'm just gonna, come here. Just let go. You know you want to. Come on. Why couldn't you warp a little bit? Jeez, it would have been so much easier. There we go. Boop. Whoa, camera flying. Ah. Okay, there we go. All right, so fan mounts, boom. Let's real quick slam these on there. That looks like it mounts. And then that one also mounts. Let's just whoop. Is that gonna be too thick? Oh no. So I might be getting the screws out later. Yeah, definitely going to need the screws. I made that way too thick. What was I thinking? Oops. So too thick. Holy moly. Okay, let's ignore that. I'll get the screws. But boom. That will be perfect. Why? Okay, yeah, no, that's going to be really good. So yeah, I'll just glue that on, and then that gets me all of the clearance I need. So if I just, hold it normally like I would, put it in, doesn't really interfere with access to the drive. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's nice. That'll work. Okay. Yeah, Dziak. Yep. Yeah. I think they're actually predicting 120 in some places. So, all right, there we go. That'll do. I have to wrap it up here, so I am going to hit the outro. None of that was the right button. There we go. Okay. Oh, I accidentally left the remote desktop going the whole time. Cool. Well, that is it for today. That was a complete success there, I think, other than the fact that I screwed up and then used the wrong thing to mount. I got a bag of screws here. I will just take those home.
Dorofox says CHEER. 420, have a wonderful weekend, y'all. End of line.
Dorofox, thank you. I guess I could put the rubber doohickey in backward. Nah, that really won't work. All right, anyway. Yep. Okay, well, that's it for today. If Dorofox, thank you for the 400 bits there. I appreciate that. Thank you all for hanging out here with the slightly extended stream time. If you enjoyed this stream, you may want to follow to be notified when I go live again next. If you want to help support the channel, you can find me on Patreon or get a shirt like the one I started the stream with. But that's it for now, and I will see you next time.